another episode of Texas Underground. I am your host, JVaz, and you're watching Texas Underground episode number... We don't even know. We're about 30 episodes in, so we appreciate you guys for tuning in every week. And as always, this show is brought to you by La Conecta. Make sure you check them out at shoplaconecta.com, where you can find the custom license plates if you're from Houston. Como chingas, if you from Texas, anywhere, you don't have to be from Houston. You might have seen this book going around on TikTok, La Mamalona de Could. And, you know what I'm saying, you can catch all the different type of air fresheners. They got fucking lanyards, rolling trays. They got the hats. Make sure you check them out at shoplaconecta.com. Hey, man, joining us today, we got a special guest coming out from, it's East LA?
East LA, Boyle Heights.
Boyle Heights, man, joining us today. We're going to get to know, what he's got going on out here and what he's got going on out there in East LA, man. Viva Mescal. He's an artist, producer, MC, engineer, you name it.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling, bro?
Feel great, man. It's been nothing but love in Houston, bro. It's been great.
Yeah? How you liking this weather?
I mean, from what I heard, it's cooler than it's been. So,
yeah,
it's nice. It's nice. It's not too bad as long as you're in the AC.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot better than what it was last week. Like I was just telling you, it was 100 and something. And I don't know what kind of weather I get out in LA, but
it's been kind of hot in LA, like compared to that, But nah, it's been up there, bro. 90s. It's hot outside. You gotta time your days out, know where you're going, because you get stuck in that heat. It'll drain you. But we've been good. Been good out there.
Yeah. But let me ask you this: I ain't never been to LA, and now that you say getting stuck in this heat, I thought of the traffic that I see on the news and shit. And it looks like you can be stuck in traffic for like 2-3 hours.
Oh, yeah. Like locals or like natives, bro. Like, when you got to move and when it's going to cost, it's going to take half your day to just get from point A to point B. Yeah. So for me, like shit, after like 4 or 5 o'clock, just stay wherever you at. Because traffic's so bad, you might as well just take off at 7:30, 8 o'clock. Then trying to fight through that traffic, unless you got somewhere to really be. But shit, for me, I'm like, I try to avoid it as much as I can because it is a bitch, man. You be stuck just barely moving. And
I've been watching Univision and I see that traffic and I was like, bro, what if you got to take a piss? That's the shit I be thinking. Like, what do you got to use the restroom, bro?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. You get a sixth sense like, oh, fuck no, I'm not going. Or like, I'm just going to leave early enough to avoid all of it.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. It's a part of life. Spark a joint, roll up a blunt, sit in that traffic, bump some music.
Wait for 3 hours.
Yeah, like what else are you gonna do?
That's kind of like, for me, I know I always got to leave like an hour and 15 minutes beforehand, giving myself like a 20-minute in case there's traffic.
Right.
But like you said, like between 9 and 12, I can leave and I know I'm gonna get here in an hour.
Right.
But from 12 to like 2 is you get the lunch hour traffic. And then after 4 o'clock, like you say, you might as well stay where you're at till 7 because you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, well, LA, like morning traffic's crazy. You got a job, you got to get to the grind, leave early. Then you get the little free time in between, like you're saying, and then once it's like about 3 o'clock, you slam to like 7 something, like any direction.
Yeah.
The 5, the 10, the 60 is just like everywhere. So I mean, maybe you got like a little traffic or one spot. Nah, it's like every which way is just is crazy. So
man, I mentioned you from East LA, Boyle Heights to be exact, and I want to talk about something because here in Houston, a lot of times we tell people we're from Houston, even if we're from the outskirts, for the simple fact that if I tell you I'm from Hempstead, you have no idea where that's at. If I tell you I'm from Katy, you have no idea where that's at. But I want to talk about growing up in LA, bro. What's it like out there growing up as far as, the hip hop scene and just growing up as a kid out there?
Yeah, man. Well, LA is huge. It's LA County is bigger than most states. You know what I mean? So, you're from different areas, you might claim LA, right? For myself, I grew up in like LA, like metropolitan LA, like East Los and Boyle Heights is just a 2-3 minute ride from downtown, from Arts District and all that. So I could see the buildings. I could see it from my backyard, you know what I mean? So growing up that close to LA, it's a little different. It's more of the shit you see on the news. It's more of that LA, culture. And then fools who live kind of around the area, they have a different experience, but you almost gotta just all claim from the city because it's hard to be like, yo, I'm from Like you're saying, if someone says I'm from Bell Gardens, you may have never heard of Bell Gardens. Oh, but I'm from LA, you know? So that's all cool. I don't be really tripping on that unless it's like they're trying to get like a lot of like a lot of clout from that. You know what I mean? For me, I just chose to rep Boyle Heights. I chose to rep East Los for the fact that hip hop is that great communicator. Like I never been a Bankhead, but why do I know where Bankhead is in Georgia, in Atlanta? Because I grew up bumping Atlanta rappers, right? And it's the same thing. No one would have heard of Long Beach, you know, like outside of Snoop and 213 and all that. Now it's like a part of hip hop fabric, right? And so that's all I wanted for, say, my hood. And I recognize that, like, man, hip hop is the way. Like, if we just rep this, we'll have kids from all around saying Boyle Heights and East LA and put a little flavor on it. Like, where'd that come from? And so I just saw that at even a young age to rep where I come from. But definitely, like, fools will just take the LA scene and run with it. I'm from LA. Don't matter if you're 20, 30 miles away, you know?
Yeah.
I don't hate. I would say just rep where you're from. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. You may put your city on the map like that where it just becomes like a Long Beach. You know what Long Beach is, you know? Like, no one even got to mention. You just picture Snoop, Lolos, and smoke. Come on, dog. And it's like that. It's like, you go to Long Beach, it's its own world. It's different from East Los. It's still West Coast culture, but they talk a little different. They have different, different customs, different ways of acting. And, so you have to really know those pockets in LA. Similar like the hats you wear and the gang, culture and stuff like that. You got to keep your wits about you, But, it's a trip, bro. It's a trip. I definitely love it.
See, I'm glad you mentioned that, the whole gangs things, because, again, I've never been to LA. And I remember being a kid coming to Houston for the first time. And I've always looked older than I really am. I was maybe like 15 and I was wearing a red shirt. Was it a red shirt? I don't know what the hell I was wearing, but we were out in the street shooting a music video for one of my homeboys, and I have this dude come up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, where you from?" And I'm just like, "Shit, I stay in Waller." He's like, "I'm going to take it easy on you, but you wearing the wrong colors, bro. This is Spice Land, whatever."
This was out here in Houston or out in
Houston?
LA? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Like early 2000s, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to not wear or wear." I came from the Valley where you can wear whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? Like, so what is that like out there?
Again, like for people who aren't from like LA, Southern California, it might be like off-putting, or you don't know. You could get caught up a bit not knowing. But if you're like growing up there and stuff, you kind of just start picking it up, and certain hoods, certain stuff. So it's just different, bro. Like, you got to just be mindful, be smart, and at the very least, like, just be neutral, you know what I mean? Like, because it's real, bro. It's real out there, even with the hats and what team you wear. That represents a clique, that represents a gang. You might not even know. You might just want to rep your city, or you're a fan of that team, for real, or the colors, and it's tied into other shit. So sometimes fools act too scary with it, where they try to say, "Oh, you're gonna walk out the house and get shot." Like, no, it's not like that. Yeah. But at the same time, it's the same anywhere. It's not where you're from, is where you at. Yeah. Respect the local customs and whatever it is, because fools will look for that, like that reason to trip, or that reason to be like, "All right, you don't know what's up. Let me put you on. Like, let me tell you some shit, And I guess that's another thing with LA and with the culture. Like, fools, that's a part of it. That's a part of it. Like, fools will try to check you or say what's up, and so, you get used to it. You get used to it. And again, like, you just keep your wits about you, and always show respect. We're big about respect in LA and even in like our culture, and Southern California culture, or just raza in general. Like, we are big on respect. And as long as you come correct like that, most of the time you're good, like, fools will just let you know, and it's nothing more than that,
Don't let it happen again type shit.
Yeah. Like,
right now, when you were talking about, you're representing your city and making it a stamp so people recognize it wherever you go, it reminded me, this map back here has pretty much every known, area in Houston. You got Greens Point, the Woodlands, Rosenberg, Sharpstown. And we were interviewing OT's managers the other day, the Mexican OT. He's like, "Man, why they don't have Bay City on here?" And then the guy's like, "Bro, besides you, ain't nobody else representing Bay City." So it's, it becomes one of those things where, it's probably not going to be on the map unless you know, I mean, obviously OT is doing his thing now, but before
Right.
that, you know,
Right.
there was nobody else representing. One thing I wanted to ask you, you know, I introduced you as an artist. As far as yourself, I'm not going to speak, I know I'm not going to make you speak for LA, but as far as yourself, how do you feel about the stamp of being a Mexican artist, Chicano rapper, a Latino rapper? Does that even bother you to have that Chicano or Latino? What do you consider yourself?
I mean, me personally, I just fall on like hip hop artists. I do believe as a Chicano, if you rap, if someone says that's Chicano rap, I mean, it's just, it falls in the category whether you're like doing gang shit or you're doing a certain style that people will say that's it. By definition, you're a Chicano that raps. Like, it's not so out of the pocket. They're not calling you a Chinese rapper or something, right? Like, it's like you are that culture. So that's how I've always just simplified it in my mind. But definitely when I was younger, I'd just be like, just call me an artist. Just call me a hip hop artist. And I could see where people come from with that line of thinking. Now that I'm a little older, like I take pride in being able to kind of be like, nah, I'm a Chicano rapper. If you call me that, that's fine. I feel like I represent dope. I get down. I could actually spit. I'm not rapping over my vocals and all. Like we were talking about, like I'm true to the form of hip hop, where I can go to the East Coast, to go to New York and represent and be like, if this is your idea of a Chicano rapper, you never seen one of us, I'm cool. I'll take that. Like I'll do that for holding it down, you know? But say if I go back home and if I get boxed up as like, oh, you're a Chicano rapper, you gotta look this way, you gotta sound a certain way to be labeled as that. Then I could stand and be like, okay, I'm a hip hop artist. You know what I mean? Or I'm just an artist. You know, this is just my philosophy at this point. When I'm doing shows, when I'm like pushing my merch, or I'm doing something, like I'm just being an artist. It's like coming from a creative flow that we're tapping into by doing art, whether it's writing poetry, whether it's painting. We're all kind of tapped into that streamline of just creativity. So I'll stand on that. Like if I'm pitching you a deal and I'm trying to make this shit happen, like that's coming from this place where I write the bars from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just an artist at all times in what I'm creating. And, you know, if I'm making a short film or I'm coming and doing a lecture or something, like I'm tapping into that same thing. So, you know, me personally, artist, but nah, go ahead, slap the Chicano on it, slap Mexican artist, I'm in Barcelona. Yeah, I'm a Chicano artist, but I'm an American now. Oh, you're from America. Like, you're an American. Like, shit, we don't even call ourselves that while we're here. We're everything but that. But now I'm overseas and I'm completely different to them. So you just kind of just got to run with it. We're in a crazy space and exciting time for us as being Chicano, Latino, to create our identity right now. So if it's OT and that's what people see as a Mexican rapper, like, dope, create it. Whoever's got the loudest voice, whoever's doing the dopest shit is going to stand out and people are going to start. So if I could say that, lead by example, and then people go, oh, that's what a East LA artist looks like, or a Mexican artist, you know? It's kind of like Mescal, or it's kind of like this, you know? It's kind of like, all right, I'll take that, you know? Like, I don't mind that at all, you know? So kind of didn't give a direct answer, but it's whatever you make it at the end of the day. Yeah, you know?
At the end of the day, one of the answers that I got him before, you know, I talked to Doma, and he was like, I'm just a artist that happens to be Mexican.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm still an artist.
Yeah, and right now we're vying for our spot, you know, and even as lyricists, as performers, as, you know, artists who sell records or get numbers, like everyone's filling a certain lane, you know what I mean? And then for us, like, I love the underground shit. I don't see it as like, oh, I'm just underground. Like, nah, like, if you look, the underground always got the gems. We're always the space that the mainstream comes and steals from. Everyone's underground till they blow up, you know? So it's like, I love that shit. Like, that's where I'll make my living then. Like, no one's got this lane. Shit, we got this lane. Hard in the Paint got this lane. 86 got this lane. ELTR, like, we'll fill it up, you know? Because we came from that generation where that was the shit. And we weren't trying to get on it. Like, you just had to be the dopest. And you got big shows from that. You got big placements from that. You know, I haven't had to change my shit, and I've gotten on short films. I've gotten my music picked up for deals and for like big events, and shit. Don't tell me it's not possible. You know, you don't gotta just do it one way. You know, that's my whole point with it.
Yeah, man. I want to touch back here in a little bit about, you know, getting placements and whatnot, especially in short films. It seems to be something that's kind of taking off. You know what I mean? But before we do that, I should have started the interview with this, and it completely, you know, obviously you're from Cali. We got you out here in Texas right now. Talk to us about what you guys got, you know, going on out here in Texas right now, or in Houston to be exact.
Yeah, man, we're going to be at the Embrace the Culture 4 later on today. So shouts out to them damn Mexicans putting that together, you know.
Yeah.
We're here on, you know, the love and the strength of Chop the Father, DFD Baby Lee. We had them out for our hip-hop conference called Lighter Fluid that we host out in Los Angeles. And that's a collective of like 86 Inca, which is a hip-hop platform, Heart in the Paint, which is a nonprofit and community solutions-driven platform, and then my platform, East of the River, which is like everything east of the LA River, and like hip-hop production, you know? So we've been doing that in LA, bro. It's just been just snowballing, just boom, boom, more momentum. So we just like, man, let's bring this to Houston, Lord. Like, let's bridge this gap. So last night we were at rap camp. You know, shouts out to the homie Something Better. That shit was dope, bro. He's teaching fools how to write bars, how to conceptualize your songs. So it's like, man, like that's so important to me, bro, because I see the need for it.
Yeah.
It has nothing else to do besides you just see a need the same way that there's the need for these podcasts and these conversations. Like, this is how we advance the culture and advance our movement, by just coming through and showing love and doing the groundwork, bro. Everyone wants the big shit already, you know? Like, I did the LA Bridge like 3 weeks ago, bro. Thousands of people there on the LA Bridge and you know, shut down the streets. The city booked us. How did we get on that? We didn't get it from any type of like drawn out fame or what people would perceive as, oh, that's how you get it.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, dog, we did it this, grassroots, conversations, and motherfuckers recognized the dope, put us on that stage, and we killed it.
Yeah.
Like killed it. Like the highlight of the show. And it's like, man, that's what we got. That's like, give us a shot. We literally are the top right now in my eyes. Like, the fools pushing it, the best performers is happening right here in this little thing we got. And, you know, we see Houston, bro. We see a lot of dope talent out here and everything y'all are doing. So salute. And, you know, we just want to keep coming and making it happen. So yeah, that was the whole point of the trip out here, bro.
I want to talk a little bit about Lighter Fluid. And you know, you were talking about educating people. And it's very important. It's something that I pointed out, and I like the way you pointed it out because it sounds better than the way I do. Because I'm always. Some people say I be talking shit, but I'm not. It's just something of everybody wants to be an artist, but nobody knows how to structure a song. Nobody knows how to write their bars. Nobody knows how to perform.
Right.
They just get on stage and we were talking about it earlier.
Right,
they just let the song play in the background. Nobody has an idea of what it is to be an artist, to be honest, you know, for the most part. And it takes time. And obviously, we're in a time where you shouldn't be fucking off too much money. But but it's cool to have. It takes
investments and it takes that, yeah.
Yeah. And it's cool to have something like, you know, where you were talking about educating people. And I usually the way I look at it when I tell people is like, I'm going to give you constructive criticism. If your music is not all that, I'm going to let you know.
Right.
Because how do I expect you to become a better artist if I'm just giving you a thumbs up on every song you put out?
Right.
Like, yeah, it's dope. Yeah, it's dope. And that shit is not. And sometimes it gets taken out of context because people, you know, look at it as hating. People look at it as, you know, you're not being supportive. It's like, no, I am being supportive. I'm just telling you that ain't it. Like, you can't get better if, you know, like I can't get better if you don't tell me, hey, your lighting was off. Hey, your audio quality is trash or whatever.
Right.
Like, fix it. I can't grow if nobody points that out.
Right.
So to get a better idea of what lighter fluid is, can you talk more about that? And I know you say, you know, it helps people. Can we go more into
right,
detail?
right. So, you know, just first, like, we started off Lighter Fluid as like a showcase and a way of just like throw the live show, get the dopest artists, no pay to play. You can't, you know, backdoor into the event. Oh, let me slide you some dough, bro, or let me do this. Nah. We booked the fools who we saw as like, you fools are the dopest, or like up and coming, or you guys got it. Let's put you guys all on the same lineup, and then you guys all see each other, and then that natural competition starts to happen where fools just they want to kill it. So that was kind of like layer one of it. From there, we started adding conversations. We did a conference. I interviewed Tony A, who was a part of, you know, the early days of West Coast hip hop, just he's a pioneer. You know, he took over Dr. Dre's
Wizard?
mixtapes. Tony A. the Wizard.
Okay,
Bro. So
cool,
shouts out
cool.
to Tony A. the Wizard,
Shouts
bro.
out.
Yeah, man. So Rhodium Radio, we interviewed him before the show happened. Had a one-on-one interview. He gave all his gems. To hear a Latino, a Chicano in rap from its starting days on the West Coast, to hear it from his mouth, how he grinded, the people he worked with, the things he accomplished, and you just see the spark go off in people's minds. Like, oh shit, like, this fool's been doing it. Like, how come I can't do that? Oh, it is possible, you know? And maybe that wasn't even our true intention. Like, we didn't even see the potential in that. Like, it's there. But damn, like, the results of it were just mind-blowing. Like, people really need to hear this shit. We need to hear our heroes tell their story. So that's where we kind of just started transforming it into a conference now. So then we took another huge leap. Back in July, we said, let's do a 6-hour event before the showcase and just get everyone together and offer them education, offer them the specialty of artists we've met. So we had like the homie Noah James, amazing live performer. He taught a live performance, workshop. We had the homie 60 East. He throws the Happiness of Pursuit Festival, which is like one of the only hip hop underground festivals in the country. You know, he's booked huge artists from the East Coast and all kinds of legends. We had him there. He was teaching how to book shows, how his philosophy of working with, all kinds of dope people, bro. So it was like people we've met around the way. Hey, bro, can you come and give some of these gems to these younger fools, you know? And it don't gotta be in a critical way. Sometimes it's hard to be put on the spot. You just rap. Someone's gonna come up to you and be like, hey, bro, you fucked up. I didn't like this. You might take it a certain way, you know, or someone comments, it hits different as opposed to like, we're in a safe space, we're in a safe environment. Here, little homie, like, hey, bro, maybe you shouldn't be screaming and shit and on your shit, or like, turn up your vocals. It's okay to like, da-da-da-da. You know, just the other day I had an open mic. I had the fool, he was rapping the whole time like this. I just thought, hey, bro, just put your chin down a little when you rap. Like, but it was just like, I pulled him to the side. I was like, hey, bro, that was cool, but try just making eye contact with people and this and that. Don't be up here because I want to feel it as someone who's at your show. I want to feel the performance.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect environment to give them that critique, as opposed to homie just got off this other stage and there's other people there and he's gonna take it personal. Like, man, fuck Mescal. That fool's telling me shit like he knows. Like, we're human, dog. It's hard to take criticism. Yeah. So yeah, we did that with lighter fluid, bro, and it was just a huge success, man. We had a great turnout. The energy, was crazy, and people just wanted more and more and more. So we're planning the next one out for March. We're gonna be doing a summit in November, just getting everyone together, a little more meeting of the mind status than teaching too much. It's more like, let us listen a little. Let us come together. But we'll be back in March, bro, with the biggest show we've ever done. Again, the last one was 3 events in 2 nights. We booked, the entire thing was like 50, 60 plus moving parts of people, instructors, performers, promoters. Like,
it's dope.
So, this next one's like, all right, double that up. And then we're moving in with the city now. So we're getting city love. Like, we're starting to get recognition from people who could cut some checks and could really make some moves. So it's like, man, like, that's another blessing. But it's been years of just grinding to prove that and to show what's possible, and yeah, man, lighter fluid. Everyone out there, follow the page if you're dope. Hit us up. 86 Inca, they do an amazing job at highlighting up and coming artists and just keeping their eye on it. So they really, we love this shit.
Yeah.
We really do.
We need to have you guys host something like that out here because, you were talking about a lot of things that I see because there was a point where I was going out to a lot of these events and I would see a lot of the stuff you're saying. For example, there's no crowd interaction and they don't even tell people who they are. They just get on, do their 2 songs and get off stage.
Right.
And it's like, bro, introduce yourself, talk to the crowd. Like you said, eye contact, connect with the people.
Right.
And again, they don't do it because they know, he thinks he's too good or whatever. They do it because they don't know.
They might not know any better.
Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah.
And that's why when you were saying that, I was like, bro, we need to educate a lot of these artists because there's a lot of talent, but again, they don't have nobody to guide them. And I guess again, the way you're saying it, I like it because I'm more like dry with the shit I say. So I completely understand when people's like, oh, he's just talking shit. And it's like, I know that's what it sounds like, but that's not my intention. You know what I mean?
And I had to learn that, I had to learn how to tell people shit, like, and sometimes there's no other way. Sometimes it's just, sometimes you just got to say it. But there are better ways too, or setting up an environment where it feels like it's constructive. It feels like it comes from a place of love, as opposed to, I might just think I'm better and I just want to shit on you. Because people do that to me now. Like even at this point, if I try something new, or if someone's gonna be shitting on me right now for being in Houston.
Yeah.
This motherfucker, he act like he's traveling and he's touring and this and that. Like he ain't shit. Like, all right, whatever, fool. Like, that's not, maybe you got a gem to tell me, but this is your way of, for whatever reason, that you just have to say it in this way. But you might have something valuable to give me, So it's just setting up that in a better situation. And when you do that, it does advance, bro. Like, we've seen our scene advance from us throwing lighter fluid. We threw a media day. No one was doing that. We're telling artists, send us a photo for your flyer. Motherfuckers are sending us photos of them in the restroom or the homie taking a picture in the room. Like, nah, dog. Like, we need professional, well-lit shit. Don't you have one? Nah, I don't. Oh, no, don't. No, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. You know what? We got a studio. We own it. We got everything we need. What are we doing? Get these artists in here. We'll take your picture. We'll interview you. We'll give you a live performance, a reel and shit. So now you got content, you got stuff, and we'll do it for you. No charge, because we booked you, because we believe in you. We did that shit, bro. The whole scene in LA started doing it. Every show started doing a media day. Everyone's shit started looking more lit. We were like, what the fuck? And even for us, a little egotistical, like, man, motherfucker jocking us and shit like that. And it's like, no, this is what it was about.
Yeah.
Like, we set a new standard, and fools started following it and trying to imitate it, but also trying to outdo it, And that's that healthy competition side with hip hop. That's how it's supposed to be, right? Like, you're supposed to take that, all right, and get inspired by it, not fuck these fools, they think they're all dope, blah, blah, blah. Like, nah, so, we've seen it, man. And maybe that's what we could bring with Houston too, like just a different perspective, because in the end, how people do it, I always respect the art, bro. And it's just how I look at it.
Yeah.
Even with the homies in my label or shit, I always let fools just like, do you, bro. And if you believe in it that much, you want to do it that way, I'm not going to fight you on it. I'm just going to give you some other ideas, just another way to look at it,
And then, you mentioned healthy competition. And I feel like that also comes with once you get older, you start looking at things a little bit different. Because I remember maybe about 7 years ago when I started the podcast, I ran into a couple of the podcasts from Houston. And in my head, it was like, oh, we're competing with these motherfuckers, right? Right. And it becomes an unhealthy competition to begin with. And then I actually met the people and I saw what they got going on. And it was like, my girlfriend at the time, she's like, why don't you just have these conversations with them and try to be better as a whole instead of trying to compete with each other?
Right.
And eventually that's what happened. There's this guy named Slum Sessions. He came up around the time I came up with the podcast. And we eventually ended up in the same building. I was like, he was looking for a podcast studio. And I was like, hey, bro, I have a studio that's a lot bigger than what I need. Why don't you just move in? You pay your side, I pay my side. You do whatever the hell you want to do with your side.
That's dope,
and work together. And it's gotten to the point where, like, he came up with a series on TikTok. He's like, hey, do you think this will work? I was like, bro, like, I'm jealous that I didn't come up with this. Like, hell yeah, that would work. Like, push the shit out of it. TikTok Reels, Instagram. And basically, he draws a number, and he has a coloring book with hip-hop history. He draws a number, and whatever number that is, he flips the page, and it's like, oh, today is Fat Joe. And while he's coloring Fat Joe, he starts giving you history of Fat Joe, how he started in hip-hop, when he popped off. And we feed with each other. We feed off each other. Like, hey, that's a dope idea. I'm gonna do something similar. No coloring book, but I'm gonna make my little segments of hip hop history. Right. I'm more into the Hispanic side of hip hop. So I'm like, I'm gonna make like Latino hip hop history segments.
Right.
But again, feeding off each other. So right now, when you were talking about, everything that you guys do to help each other, I was like, bro, we need that. We need that in Houston for media. We need that for artists, to educate artists and to show people that this shit, we could be so much more if we came together.
Right. And we're in those, like, beginning stages, bro. Like, we've been here, but we can all acknowledge, like, I've been doing it for a minute, 10 plus years. And I've seen the uptick these last few years of just more interest in, hip hop coming from the voice of a Latino, a Chicano, the perspective. It's like a story that just hasn't fully been told, So we're in a, really dope position to be like, we can make it whatever we want, So make it to that and use the best examples, because we're not the first people to figure this out. Other hip hop lineage has done it. Other companies, there wouldn't be Apple without Google or without this. Like, they all start doing each other's shit and learning from each other. And if you don't think they meet up and they talk shit, or they do, like, hell yeah, they do. They do summits all the time with the biggest companies. And what do you think they're talking about at them Illuminati meetings? They're setting up the next year, 5 years of our shit, And so we have that power within our own rap scene, within our own city scene. Like, you could do it right now, and we're doing it in a lot of ways just by being here and coming out to Houston and just exchanging these ideas, bro, because it's refreshing.
Yeah.
You never even know how someone might receive it, and even last night as we're talking about lighter fluid and what we're doing with the artists that we're just meeting, I mean, everyone's like, bring it here, bro. Like, do it here. I'm like, oh, don't trip. We're coming to Houston. We'll do a lighter fluid Houston, and it was like, we would love that. Like, damn, that's dope. It's one thing to think it, but to just hear it, like, we'd be accepted, we'd be embraced. Yeah, fuck it. We need that shit.
We need
Bring
it, bro. I'm like, we need it straight up, for real.
Yeah, dog, that's
So obviously, we're helping the trying to help the artists out. Which just made me think, again, you coming to Texas, being from Cali. In your opinion, what needs to be done to bridge that gap, right? Because, I know sometimes on certain media outlets, it's always this make-believe competition between Cali and Texas. And the funny thing is, you see like the fans going crazy on the comments.
Right.
And then you're like, these artists collab with each other, right? Like,
right.
You put so-and-so versus so-and-so, and you have Cali people talking shit about Texas people talking about Cali people.
Right.
And it's like, these people have actually worked together, right? Like this,
right.
Y'all the ones dividing us, not the artists. But what do you feel needs to be done to bridge that gap between Texas and Cali?
Yeah, I think just fucking with each other more, just coming out of each other's cities more, us doing more stuff unified. That's funny, bro. Like, I've had to now think about it these last few days about that question, like the competition or like the internet side of it, right? And it's like, that's the internet. At the end of the day, like, people love to talk shit. They just love to troll. We're almost like cousins, where you don't see your cousin that much and you clowning on them, and it's just different. And so I could see why people do it, but just on like some real life shit, on a constructive way, it's like, nah, we just need to build with each other, more collaborations with artists, more, cross promoting events, and acknowledging each other more, you know what I mean? And shortening that distance, cause LA's wide open, and so is Houston. It wasn't nothing but just jump on a plane and come out here and just make it happen. So we just need more of that, bro. I think that's all it is. And, we have way more in common than we have different, like, at the end of the day. And we're all just trying to figure it out. Don't act like you got it figured out in this music shit as being a LA or a Houston artist or a Texas artist. Like, nah, bro, we're just in those beginning days of just breaking out and doing that. So, like, no one's really got it figured out.
Yeah.
That's an exciting thing. So it's like, who knows? We're experimenting, but I guess this is the first of it. Talk shit to each other, act like this and that.
Act like we don't like each other.
Yeah,
like,
it's
fuck
like
them people.
Yep.
Yeah. No, and you're right, because I'm gonna give you an example of me. Growing up, I got introduced to hip hop. Growing up, I was born in Mexico, Tamaulipas, right? Right across the border. And I listened to Spanish music. The first time I got introduced to hip hop was Delinquent Habits.
Oh,
right? I didn't even know where they were from at the time. I was just like, Delinquent Habits. I was like, I like these people, and they're Hispanic. I didn't even know if they were Mexican. I think one of the dudes that used to rap with them was what's his name from Cypress Hill?
Chemo?
Something dog.
Sendog.
Sendog used to rap with them a lot. So I used to hear them, and I was like, this shit is dope, right? Then I got introduced to South Park Mexican. Then you find out he's from Houston. And then it just became like, I listened to everything I listen to comes out of Dope House, it was SPM's label, right? And then people would show me stuff from Cali, and they're like, nah, I don't even like it. They would show me Spanish rap, and it's like, nah, that shit trash. But that was me being ignorant, not being open-minded to listening to a different sound, right? As I got older, I started to actually pay attention to the music, to the lyrics, and I started to appreciate that more to where now, I mean, you see Santa Fe right outside the door. Like, I listen to Spanish rap. I listen to artists. I don't even care where the artist is from. If I like their music.
Yeah, if it's dope, it's dope.
It's dope.
Right.
And I think sometimes that as a fan base, I think people are like insecure of their favorite artists.
Right. And I mean, maybe we're in, like I said, like those early stages of us growing into that. And it's okay. You got your regional, you got your artists, like that's cool. Rep that. Nothing wrong with that. And being, you know, kind of just in love with that. You know, but at some point you expand, your mind gets broader. Like, yo, you know, you I guess you kind of age in it. But I mean, I see it. And I think, again, it's just like a cool opportunity to grow with the music, bro. Like, even the scene growing. There's probably fools who won't fuck with what we got right now in LA, but the more we're out here, the more we're doing stuff, they become more open to it. And I really know, like, I know for a fact, like with Lighter Fluid, if we bring some of the artists that are out here, because even with Chop and DFD, like, they got a lot of love when they're in LA, you know, and even from the people who just follow us, you know, they're just like, damn, it's dope, it's different. Like, the accent's different, the flow's different. And that's all it is. At some point, you just want, you having the same meal all the time, you just want some different flavor, bro. Yeah, like, so it's only a matter of time, like, really, bro. Like, and there's enough room and enough storytelling for everyone. Everyone's got a different perspective, especially being Latino, Chicano. Like, bro, like, you're born in different areas, you're different generations, you're, you know, different fucking, like, you know, like middle class, lower middle class. Some grow up dirt poor. Other fools are like, yo, your family was better off, you know? Like, but what's the thing that connects us? Our heritage, our love of music, of our culture. Like, that's where we got to meet at it. You know what I mean?
And one thing that I preach a lot to anybody that sees us, I'm always talking about, if there's an artist that you're listening to and you don't like their music, just skip. Stop making this make-believe competitions, right? Like, for example, I'll upload, you know, new release from so-and-so, first comment, oh, but she's not better than Snow. Nobody ever said she was.
Right.
We're just talking about an artist that got a new single and she's dope. We never said she's top tier, way better than Snow, blew Snow out the water. We're not making competitions. We're just bringing your attention to, hey, there's also another artist that's also dope. You should check her out. We're not saying, hey, let's make them bump heads. Let's see who's better. Like, nah, bro, this is not a versus battle.
Yeah, I think we need that. We need those outlets, like a Lighter Fluid, like this podcast, like those positive outlets that can then expose to new music, but also keep it relevant and keep it going. Because we've been in this closed mind way up to this point as being kind of like guests, feeling like a guest in hip hop or in entertainment. And now it's like we're emerging. Like, nah, we've been here. Well, we need our own movies. We need our own shit. Like, but it's almost like the mentality to be like, but there can only be one of us. You can only look one way. We got our Selena. There can't be no one else who could sing that good. We got, you know, or back to the Chicano rap. Like, we're Chicano rap. You gotta look like this. You gotta be Little Rob. You gotta be gangster. Like, it worked. Don't fuck it up, because that's how we got in here. Yeah. But it's like, nah, you could be a nerdy ass fool. Nah, you could be this. You could be that. It's proven. There's fools out there blowing up, doing it on their niche. And, you know, now it's becoming so big you can't ignore it, but you have the mentality of like, oh no, she ain't Snow fucker then. Like, nah, there's enough room for all of them. Yeah. All of them.
You just made me think of something, because the whole Selena comment that you made, I just realized something. I've had a couple Tejano artists that stop by. I have one later on today. And, you know, here in Texas, a lot of people complain that Tejano music is dead. When there's, you know, the Houston rodeo, they don't bring Tejano artists. Why? But then there's this new girl that came out. She can sing her ass off. First comments that you see on her video, you'll never be Selena. I'm like, you see why Tejano is dead? Because y'all killing it the moment Selena died. Right. She never said she was going to be Selena. Can she just be the first her? Right. You know what I mean? So man, you just made me think of that. It's like, that's why Tejano's dead. Because when Selena died, y'all killed it. Anybody tries to come out, y'all want to compare them.
Yeah, but it's important. Man. Like, you push that narrative to be that, and you see the scene change with it. You know, because you could only use that same trick. Like, people saying that so many times. it's like there, that shit becomes washed out. Like you can't use that excuse no more.
Give me a different excuse why you don't like them.
Yeah, it's been 20 years. Like, come on, man. You know?
Man, so, you know, you were talking about traveling earlier and you mentioned going to Barcelona. What you guys had going on out there in Barcelona, man?
Shouts out to the homie Conce out in Barcelona, bro. He's a dope producer. Went out there to work with him pretty much exclusively. We did a music video, did some studio sessions, and just kind of just expanding the horizons, dog. I hadn't been to Europe in a few years. You know, we were going out there like annually to go and do conferences and to go out there and just do hip hop shit, because Europe loves underground hip hop. It's like boom bap over there. Like it's like the 90s over there to them, you know? So yeah, just kind of getting out there again, bro. Like I had the itch. It was just like a personal thing. Like, man, I just need to get out of the city. I need to get out of the country. Like just get back to just being, and it fired me up. And in a lot of ways, that's how even I'm here in Houston. Like it's like, nah, let's keep it moving, you know? But nah, Barcelona's just so beautiful city, dog. Like
I was watching the video that you put. I was like, that shit looks nice,
bro. It's such a crazy place. You just gotta go. Like if you've been. If not, like I don't want to like, you know, be over here just fucking reminiscing. But nah, man, you know, even out there, like they fuck with Chicano culture. They love hip hop. It's just like a beautiful, beautiful scene, you know? So yeah, I was out there. Shouts out to Conce once again. We got a dope music video we worked on, like artsy status. Like this fool wanted to do some like real like well-produced shit. So that one's gonna be a special drop. Should be dropping pretty soon.
Dope, man. Yeah, I saw the video that you posted on TikTok, and I was like, hey, it's nice out there, man. Like I ain't never been. I've never been. Something I wanted to talk about, and it goes back to, you know, being from Houston for so long, and you know, Chop is here, so he can call me out if I'm lying. One thing that I always, you know, try to talk on my podcast is about expanding our lyrics, being more lyrical. Like I'm tired of hearing the swinging and banging pop trunk, you know, shit that we talk about. And you being a lyrical artist, obviously, you know, you from LA, but I wanted to ask you this. Is being a lyrical artist in today's hip hop like one of those blessing and a curse things? Or how do you look at it, you know, as yourself being that you're lyrically inclined?
I mean, for me, it's like, I guess it can be sometimes. In LA, you are embraced a lot more, you know, like say, you know, if you got bars, people respect it. You know, like if being in New York, I've been in New York, you could be a fool on the corner just dropping bars. People stop, like give you love, like, damn, you're somebody, you know, like your poetry has spoken for you, which is one of my favorite parts of being a part of hip hop. But the way I see it is like this, like if I can do it and I could still make something that's slaps or is fun, like I could change my game to be able to make different levels of music and diversify, I got the advantage. Because someone who just makes some bullshit records, like they can't jump up and just turn lyrical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I could be lyrical as fuck, but then be like some
have fun with
oh, you want me to jump on some shit? Cool. And I, you know, one of my other homies used to be like, the dumb it down fools need to step it up. The step it up fools, the lyrical fools need to dumb it down. like that's just how it happens, you know? Because you got, like, let's not front. Like, if you are too lyrical, the average person might not understand it, you know? And that's just human nature. That just is what it is. Like, you might have advanced lyrics that take a third, fourth, fifth listen. You know, that's why people love J. Cole or a Kendrick, or to listen to something 10 years later and be like, wow, I never caught that.
I missed that. Yeah,
I missed that bar. Like, I didn't know about it. But at the same time, how do you hit a new crowd who's never heard of you, and you're going to hit them with the most lyrical miracle shit ever? They're going to be like, bro, I couldn't even process that.
Yeah.
So having versatility, having a catalog, a range of shit, ultimately is your best bet for, you know, and I learned this early on. Like, I used to hit crowds and like different shows, and I wouldn't have music to fit that show. I have a younger crowd, or I have a crowd of straight females. I once opened up for an entire crowd of just straight females. Celeste Rose show, a Celeste Rose, she's like popping on, millions of followers, and they booked me to help them do the event. And then they're like, hey, bro, you know, get some stage time, rock. And I'm like, all right. Go up there, bro. I'm like in a room of just like 16, 17, 18-year-old females. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what am I gonna rap for this fucking crowd? Like, I'm about to sit some underground shit. And then I told myself, you know, have different range of stuff. Have a song where you could walk into that. Or you're in a room full of educators. You're in a room full of like city people. What you gonna rap? Oh, you're in the club now. They threw you in the club now, and everything's bounce. Now you're gonna come with some slow boom bap shit. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm in the club right now. I'm turning up. Like, do you have that song? You know, and a lot of artists, that's more than what it is. I can't pull you in Lighter Fluid and be like, you got a track like that? You got a track where you're gonna shut it down lyrically on all your vocals? Because if you could do that, then you come on with some swanging type shit, people are gonna love you even more.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna be like, I can't fuck with Cat. He just came through, did some real shit, lyrical as fuck, but then he still had a bitch, be humble, bitch, sit down, some ignorant, easy shit. And that's like kind of the genius if you could pull that off. You know what I mean? And so that's how I see it. I could do both. I could literally do both, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of, you know, you just say you perform in front of this female crowds. We slightly talked about before we started recording, man, and being able to perform is something that we're not used to here in Houston. Let me make that clear first. You hear it, but it's very rare. Performing with just, you know, with no vocals, you just play the beat, and then it's all you.
Right.
Well, like that's
you know,
that's pretty dope. Like
I came up in that era where you had to do it that way. If you were rapping over your vocals, fools would literally like turn their back on you or just be like, get that fool the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like, then I guess over time it became a little more acceptable. And then now, you know, there's that void where just new rappers just would rather do that. But again, like, wouldn't you want to have it in your arsenal to be able to drop them lyrics and spit your shit with the live voice, with nothing, acapella, drop it right now, boom, can you deliver that? Like, at the end of the day, like, let's just be honest, it's just about, are you gonna put in that time? You know what I mean? Like it comes down to like grind harder. You just being lazy, bro? You just gonna throw that up there and just kind of like, nah, like give me something more as a fan, you know? Cause I've been to shows too where mainstream artists do that shit.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hit the same, you know? Very few people get away with it. Very, very few. Like you could be in a spot where everyone knows your shit. You could possibly get away. You're an OG legacy act. Everybody knows that song. You know, it's on the radio nonstop. You could probably get away with it. But if I paid money to see you, and then all I'm hearing is you play back your music, I'm gonna feel a certain type of way, you know? And I think artists just need to accept that. Like, come on, bro. Like, no matter how you chop it up, at some point you're gonna have to have that in your arsenal. And we've seen major artists where that's happened and they get clowned, you know? Their music drops and it turns out they were doing this, you know, and it's never
they were lip syncing the whole time.
Yeah, bro. So, nah, man, that's how we feel when we do Lighter Fluid. We make sure the artists rap over their shit, you know, no vocals on it, and give a real performance. So, yeah, it's just setting that standard, bro. It really is. You know, come catch it. Like, it's much different. It's much different when you're actually spitting that. It feels better, bro.
Yeah. Last year around June was the first time I saw a concert in Houston where the person was actually, you know, it was just the beat and he was doing everything, you know, all the vocals himself. I went to the Hera MX's concert here in House of Blues last year.
Sick.
And when I heard it, I was like, damn, bro, I wish we had more of that. So, you know, when Chop brought that up to me, I was like, I'm definitely gonna talk about it.
You know, today when I'm at the show today with them damn Mexicans, like, that's what I'll be doing, you know, and I'll be the breath. You be sweating. I know it's gonna be hot out there. Like, you know what I mean? I run. I do miles to have my wind, to have my cardio up.
Yeah.
Because it takes that. Then you're on bigger stages, young artists out there. You're not only, you keep grinding, you're not just gonna be on little 5-foot stages or 10-foot stages. You start getting invited to big stages. We're talking 20 feet, 30 foot, big festival style. Bro, you gotta move.
Yeah.
You gotta be moving around. You gotta be jumping around. You don't want to just see someone standing on a stage like that. So you have to have your vocal and your breath control down. And I'm telling you, the top talent out there, if you don't think that's what they're doing, they're right there working it like a pro athlete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Put the workouts in.
Yeah, like you wouldn't expect a fucking professional athlete just to show up and like not want to run his routes.
Yeah.
Like, no, motherfucker, like this is a part of the game, you know?
You have to practice. You have to practice. I mean, you have to practice in order to play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Man, so, speaking putting the work in, this year alone, you've dropped, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've dropped 5 singles. You dropped one yesterday, as a matter of fact. September 15, you dropped La Clica. Before that, at the beginning of the year, you put out Put My City On. That was in March. You put on the Hunt. That was also in March. You dropped twice in March. Eastside Anthem. And then you put, now I don't know if this was the name of the song or what's up because it was long. Instructional Flex to the New Chicano Renaissance. That was in July.
That's the title right there.
Okay, I'm like, that's a long ass title.
I made a long title on that.
No, but is your fifth single dropped yesterday, La Clica. Before we talk about the rest of the tracks, the Clica it's a song you did for a bike club.
Right.
Can you talk to us about that? How that came about?
Yeah, they're the homies, man. They're like a BMX bike club out in LA. They do huge meetups, take over the streets and ride out, real cool ass fools, bro. And so I've been rocking with them and they're supporters of the music for years. So they reached out like, hey, bro, could you make us like an anthem, dog? Like they told me their whole story. This is how we started. This is the slang we use. This is like, I was like, yeah. I took all that, wrote them fools a track. And so, we dropped it yesterday and it's just like a dope, fun, kind of like West Coast, just like cruising record.
Yeah.
But it's for like the BMX clique. So yeah, man. I still like keep it homegrown, keep it East Los, and I actually like love that record low key. Like it was just one of those like make it happen, make it fun, and they took care of me, they kicked me down and shit. I'll do some writing for commission, I've done stuff for like films and jingles and stuff like that on my pen game. So when they hit me up, I was like, yeah, I'll cook this shit up for you. So they're like, will you release it? Like a real release? Like, yeah, I got you, like we want to post it and all this. So nah, man, it's actually getting a lot of love, bro. Yeah, man. So shouts out to them.
I like the part where you said about what was it, watching live through my handlebars. What was it?
See the world from my handlebars.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's funny because one of my homeboys, he's not like in a bike gang or anything, but he likes riding his bike, and he always tells me that reference, like, bro, just being able to ride and look at life through the handlebars, like it's a completely different feeling, man. It's like a mental getaway. He calls
Same
it.
thing they told me, man. Like when they were explaining it, and I try to put myself in that, I was like, see this bike. I said, this bike is my throne and the streets are my home. I'm with La Clica.
Yeah.
And it's like they have a dope advantage, They get to see the city from a different standpoint. And then they're on the streets more than some fools who claim to be in the streets. Like people who are really in the streets are usually the normal people, like, or fools like this, people in the community, even coming from East Los. I know hoods in East Los that fools claim. And I'm like, no, I'm there on those blocks. Like, I'm not a gangbanger or nothing, but I go to the market here. I walk this street. You see me every day. So if I don't see you there, I'm not, not even on some shit, but like, you're not really there. You know what I mean? And these fools, by being in the streets and riding around, they see stuff and have a point of view that, very few people get to have. You know, so.
Are we going to get a visual for this Clica?
Yep. We're actually shooting it in about 2 weeks. So I'll be out. We're going to do a big, huge ride out and meet up and a pop up. And yeah, do it right, man. I really want to leave them a stamp for the city and for that community of people who ride. That's why I've been excited for it, because it's like they're pumped up. They're pushing it. How like we could learn something as hip hop artists. Like these fools are pushing it like it's a movement. And that's how it has to be,
Yeah, for sure. And again, that's your 5th track this year. I have a segment that I like to, break down lyrics of certain songs. The songs that I'm about to talk about, it didn't drop this year, but there was a bar on there that I really liked, a couple of lines on there that I liked. And usually when there's an artist that I can break their song down, just because I feel like there's a bigger meaning behind it, I try to take advantage, and especially, I have you on here, so I want to talk about what that meant to you. It's very straight to the point, but I just wanted to see where you were at mentally that made you write that line. The name of the track that you did was My Love for This. And off the top, at the beginning of the verse, you said, got lost in thoughts of why me. Scrolling through, my handwriting's ugly. Scrolling through life, craving affection and likes on IG. I'd be lying if I said status didn't matter. I like that, because we see this every day. We get lost on this damn phone, and life is happening around us. but we don't even notice it. You know what I mean? And it's only getting worse because the younger people are even worse.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know how to appreciate the time with their parents, their grandparents. And they're all so worried about how many likes they get. I don't know if Chop saw it. He has me on Facebook. And on Facebook, I'm more open, talk more shit, I guess. And I was like, why do people hide their likes?
Right.
Like, is it like a thing that's going to hurt your, what the fuck did I say? Does it hurt your confidence? And then when I heard this, it's like, you get lost in the thought of why me. What I got out of it was, you're scrolling. Give you an example. I see you in Barcelona, and I'm like, why am I not traveling like this?
Right.
You get so focused on people, what people got going on, that you forget to appreciate what you have.
Right.
That's why I liked it. But I want you to tell me, why you wrote this line and what it means to you.
Yeah, like, I mean, first, appreciate you, diving into the lyrics like that. Again, like, it's like needed. It's needed. These platforms and these conversations are needed for our patch of hip hop. But now with that, like with Why Me, it's like sometimes shit happens to you and people will look at it like, why did this happen to me? Why aren't I where I want to be and stuff like that? Then yeah, you go on the phone and you have all the examples of quote unquote everyone else doing their great shit, because IG's just like a big highlight reel or in a big, fake flex, you know what I mean? And like, but that's where my head was at, like being stuck in that pocket and feeling like I need to get out of it, right? Like got stuck, got lost in thoughts. Why me? I'd be lying G if I said status doesn't matter or how hard it is to make it in this business as a Latin rapper. And it's like, yeah, you need that. You need the status or you need the momentum. You need all these things, but you can't live for it either. You can't just be out here doing anything for anything for this attention. And like you said, the younger generation, it's even worse because they've already been conditioned that this is success. This is it. Because even with me, like I have my humble following. I built my following. Like I grew it organically by putting out music, connecting with people. But I see how people be like, oh, damn, you got a like cool following. Like that's something. I trade what I'm doing for that following or this. And it's like, nah, like, do your shit, I don't even trip on the numbers. Yeah. I learned how to like mentally get out of that. It's not always easy. We're still human, bro. We want the love, we want the shine. Who doesn't? Recognition for their art. But at the same time, you can't just base all of it on that. It has to come from your own version of success, your own missions and what you're accomplishing and giving yourself credit. Like, I didn't even know I dropped 5 singles this year and stuff. I'm over here telling myself like, man, I haven't been dropping enough. I need to do a little more. But it's like, no, I've been pretty consistent. I've been pretty out there. Hey, thank you for bringing that up. I wouldn't even have thought about it. Like, but nah, that whole record is special to me, bro. I felt like I was really being just true with that flow and with that with those lyrics and people respond to it. Yeah.
Nah, it was dope, man. And like I said, I like paying attention to the lyrics, especially when it's stuff that I can relate to. Because again, to going back to the first line, got lost in the thoughts of why me. And then comparing your life to others, based on Instagram, like you said, Instagram is a highlight reel, not just Instagram, social media as a whole. It's a highlight reel of people's lives, right? And it's something that I discovered here the last couple of years. Everybody, felt as if you got it going on, bro. Your life is perfect. But behind the camera, my life was like fucking falling apart. Right. And it's like, nah, y'all seeing all the good shit, but y'all don't understand what's happening in the back. And people that live for the likes. I was on TikTok yesterday scrolling, and you see all these people, the shit they do to feel, I don't even know what they're trying to look for, right? But in my head, I'm like, is this what it's about now? Does this make you feel accepted? Like, ooh, Rose. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Right.
Like that shit is wild to me. And again, people do it because, I don't know, they feel accepted. They feed off them likes, and it's sad. And it's sad. So when I heard that, I was like, yeah, I definitely want to break that down, talk about it. But as I mentioned, you've dropped 5 tracks this year. What else you guys got going on for the remaining of the year, the next couple of months, 4 or 5 months we got left?
I got some more features, working with artists from the Lighter Fluid alumni and family. I got a track with Chop the Father we working on, and you know, I got a few other singles kind of just sitting in the wings. What I've been working on mostly is my short film, The Map. So with some of the records I dropped, like Eastside Anthem, it's attached to that project, but I don't want to push it fully out until the movie's done because it's a short film.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the short film is like highlights of my life, like moments in my rap career where I had just like turning points, small turning points that I wanted to highlight. And then I'm like, let's shoot a movie over this. We did that, and then this took us into a whole other world and adventure. Like, I'm familiar with the movie game, and I went to school for audio engineering, so I know how to do audio for music and for film, but I hadn't really used that skill. And so then diving into that opened up this whole new world that's now set me on this other path. And I've been on like this mission to finish it the last like 6-7 months.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sound like a filmmaker, like, when's it coming out? Soon, you know, like it's just, I don't want to turn into one of these fools that never finishes, you know? So, but it's a different beast. It's different from making a song or making a record or an album. Like, I'm good at that, you know? With the film, it's like on a whole new monster, a whole new experience. But that's still one of my main focuses right now, is to get this film finished up and released before the end of the year. I'm working with the homies VSN, Vive Stream Network, which is an online like platform that works with blockchain and like, you know, Web3, which is almost like combining it all. YouTube, IG, Spotify, all on one spot, but ran by the artists. So when fools are like, oh, I'm not getting paid for my streams, I'm not getting this, go to Vive Stream. Now this is a new platform. We drop music on there and then just have the fans pay us directly. Don't pay Spotify, don't do this. Like, don't cancel your subscription, do your thing. I'm not hating on it. But if you want to support straight out, here's the outlet for it. So I see the short film being that big thing I throw on with Vive Stream and then hit that. And if I could figure that one out with like Web3 and blockchain and NFTs and rewarding our fans for what they support, like, bro, now we're like next level, because now we're able to funnel that money directly in.
Yeah.
Right now, there's too many third parties and middlemen in music, just in general. Like, you have a dope slapper on Spotify, everyone wants that, but you get your million streams and it barely even cuts you the money to make it back if you really want to promote it, you know, because organic don't happen how it used to.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, nah, it takes all of it. If I want to break a record, like, I'm doing ads, I'm going to shows, I'm doing every interview I can. I mean, interviews, they cost gas money. You got to buy lighting. You got everything is costing money, but there's not a way to reciprocate that back enough from just Spotify for YouTube views. I abandoned that a while ago. You know, I had way more numbers a few years ago, but I was pumping so much energy and money into it just for what? So someone could see, oh, you got 100,000 plays. It must be important. I could have 10 plays on a song and it could impact someone where I see that significance, where I'm like, fuck that. Like, plus my name has gotten me in enough rooms where, like, we know, the main fools know, those numbers ain't what they used to be.
Yeah.
They ain't. It's all about how much you're really taking home. Straight up.
At the end of the
Straight
day,
up, bro.
I'm like, at the end
I
of the
trade
day,
that 10 million, but you walked away with fucking $1,000, even 10,000, or get one placement on a film, write a song, and get that 10 racks, you know, and it's right into your pocket. You know what I mean? So that's where my mentality has been. And with the film and with the projects to end the year, it's going to come full circle. Like, oh, shit. Yep. I could have just kept dropping more projects on Spotify and shit, but it's like, there's a smarter way, and we all feel it. Every artist who's out there feels it. Like, this can't be the way that we get it done. Like, there has to be a better system, a better play. And I truly believe with the Vive Stream and with this blockchain shit, like, it was like a fad to a lot of people, NFTs and all that. And then you just didn't hear about it. But it's like, nah, it's there. Like, that was the play. It's still the play, bro. But it's just gonna takes time, you know?
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, man. And you know, I had a conversation with one of my, I guess, old heads a while back. And he mentioned those things. Like, man, back in the day, people think streaming is better now. He's like, but back in the day, I could go to Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston, and within 1 month, I'll make $10,000 out of selling tapes. Right. It's like, now I need thousands over thousands of Spotify plays to be able to make half of that. He's like,
I mean,
Is this something you guys are going to teach or currently teach with on lighter fluid as well?
yeah. So we have the partnership with Vibestream Network, and we're open to all of the blockchain. You know, we had like people from Shiba we had involved. You know, like talking to them, but definitely having that outlet there is very important.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's what we're building our whole thing off of. Like lighter fluid will be on blockchain. It will be, you buy your pass and we remember it's there forever.
Yeah.
That's the exciting part. Like I have people who've been supporting me for 10 years in my music. Like I sold out my first release show 10 years ago. Like I've sold out my last 4 shows. I've done 400 people sold out at the Paramount in Boyle Heights. Like I have a local following, right, that supports me. And it's like, this gives us an opportunity to know who you are forever. Like, not your personal information, not your shit, but just like, yo, so-and-so supported this day. They're on our network. We see them. We can give them this interview. We could give them a BTS that, why give it an IG? Why? Like, so it floats in the internet and someone just looks at it and they get over it. Like, even to break that, I don't even want my food on that table. Like, my shit's so delicious. Why am I going to have it with the rest of the spread? It's like, nah, I'm going to set it up over here. And that's the thing that excites me, because if I were able to track all that and really keep my last 10 years of everyone who's ever bought something, went to a show, really liked it, commented and all that, if I could have that information, bro, we give that shit away so easy. We give it away to YouTube. We give it away to IG. We don't even own that shit.
Yeah.
They could just delete. I could say something they don't like right now, shadow ban, delete me. All that hard work I did for 20K followers and this, like, fuck all that, man. I spent thousands of hours and dollars investing in that. I don't even own it.
Yeah,
so it's like,
you're right.
If I could get a system that says 10 years I've been grinding, I got 1,000 people right there. I know their email, I know who they are. And I could rally them, and you could legitly live off of that, right?
Yeah.
There's even that rule of 1,000 fans. If you got 1,000 fans, you make $100 off of them a year, you're clocking in 100 racks. You're already what most people work their whole life to get to, right? Or like grind at a job for 10, 12, 15 years for that to get to that status. Like, man, as an artist, maybe you never blow up and go platinum and this and that, but you got 1,000 fans, you got 5,000 fans that support you. Fuck, bro.
Everything you do, yeah.
You living pretty good, dog. Like, and waking up doing what you love every morning and having your time.
Can't beat that, yeah.
Oh, like, come on, dog. So I do see it. Like, blockchain and this venture with VSN is a legit, if not, I wouldn't be even thinking. Like, if it was just bullshit, you know, I've already vetted it. Like, you got to kick the tires and shit. Like I would be like, nah, chale. But no, this is like, oh man, this could be it. Like, this could be that new frontier that artists have been waiting for, you know, and I'll be the guinea pig. Like, let's go. I'm going to do this movie. We're doing lighter fluid. Like, let's see. It's crazy enough that it might work, you know? Yeah.
Now, like I said, man, lighter fluid is something you definitely need to bring to Houston. We need to make that happen here in Houston. From what I'm hearing, it you know, as independents, we can really benefit from it. So you know, we're looking forward to being able to make that connection, to have you guys out here more often, to, you know, establish that out here in Houston. Yeah, man, well, shit. First, I want to say I appreciate your time. Well, actually, before I let you go, I did see something that was kind of intriguing. You had Felipe Esparza on one of your old videos.
Right. Shouts out to Felipe.
Shouts out to Felipe. How that come about?
Felipe grew up in the projects with my parents. With my mom.
Shit.
Yeah, he's known me since I was a baby.
Okay.
So my uncle used to have his back in the hood and shit, take care of him. So Felipe just always showed that love back.
Yeah.
And here's a cool story about Felipe, fool. Like, when I first started rapping, my other tío, he's like a little knucklehead kind of. My uncle's like a jokester and shit.
Yeah.
But he sends Felipe my music, and he's like, check out my nephew, this little güerito from the projects, da-da-da-da. And Felipe's like, he's all right. And my uncle gets all butthurt. Fuck Felipe, thinks he's all bad, he don't want to, same shit. And I go, nah, he's being honest. Like, he's saying he's all right. He actually said, he's cool, hit me up when he gets better. That's what Felipe said.
Yeah.
I had just been rapping like maybe a year or something. It was brand new, green as fuck, you know? And I could have been like butthurt or this or that. I took it and I went, all right, grinded harder, kept at it. Full circle, he hears some of my music and he's like, oh shit, this fool got good. Like, come on my show. You want to open up for me? I got you. Like, just showed so much love. And then he came out in the music video in Peyote Cactus, which to this day is my biggest record, you know?
Yeah.
Or, you know, I invested some money in that, but like organically, that song just blew the fuck up. And I was like, oh shit. And it became the city anthem. Like, even to this day, like, that song's been out for a minute. It's still just the song people hit me up for and this and that. And he did it. I was like, come out in the video, bro. Like, yeah, I got you. He's like, I'm proud of you, you know, and showed a lot of love. So it's a little thing for artists out there. Like, sometimes you need that healthy criticism, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need someone to keep it real with you, you know? And Felipe, he's 100% real. He don't pull punches or nothing for no one. Like, he's just one of those dudes. But yeah, bro, I still have a lot of love for him. He still shows a lot of love to everything we do. So shouts out to Felipe, and it's some Boyle Heights shit. It's just some
shouts out. Nah, but shit, yeah, I just had to ask that, man. But once again, I do want to say I appreciate your time. I know you coming out here, and you know, I don't know how tight your schedule is, but I appreciate you stopping by.
I appreciate you,
to have these conversations, man. And definitely we're gonna stay connected with you know, Lighter Fluid and everything else you guys got going on. I'm gonna see you tonight at the show as well. But for the people out here in Texas, out here in Houston, where can they find you and where can they find your music?
Yeah, bro. Go to vivamescal.com, Viva Mescal on IG, Lighter Fluid LA. You know, great way to connect with the entire team with 86 Inca, HNDP LA, and EOTR, which is my collective. All those outlets, bro. Like, connect with us. If you're an up and coming artist or you're trying to get your foot in the door, you're trying to make it to LA, bro. Like, we literally can help you out, host you, you know, put you in the right spots, tell you the spaces not to go to the thing, like rep the bowl. Yeah, bro. Like, oh, yo, you might not want to rock that one, you know, like let us know the hat you're wearing, you know, before you come down. But nah, just hit us up, bro. We're just regular ass fools, really. Like we dope at what we do, but we're just down to earth and just like real people. And that's just so important.
Yeah.
And as much as we get caught up in the IG shit, I kid you not, I have not met a celebrity or someone who's in a great position, who's doing what they love, who's a flat out dick, flat out piece of shit. Like, it just doesn't, we think that's how people are. And I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions to the rules, you know, like, but the fools who grind with that purpose, who are real, do good work, who have integrity, who have all this, it's not a mystery that they're the ones who advance, they're the ones who are right there. So if you come with that energy, you're going to attract more people like that.
Yeah.
As opposed to thinking, oh, I'm an artist, I gotta act this certain way, I gotta do this. Like, it's 2023, dog. Like that doesn't fly anymore. Like, let's just be real. Fans are savvy. They know you ain't living that life.
Yeah.
Like, be you. They actually want to see who you are, dog, and it's okay.
And it's okay,
you know?
yeah.
It's cool, fool. We're all human, and like, that's the thing with the IG shit. Like, and the next generation, they get rewarded for that weird shit and this and that. But one thing that's true is, like, you can't sustain it. You can't sustain just being talking shit, being controversial, being a piece of shit. Like, it just doesn't. You might get that like then and there, but it's like, they're gonna move on to something else. There's always gonna be a new Island Boys or some other bullshit or something. Like, it's just there.
Yeah.
And people wise up to that, bro. So, you know, be real, be yourself. Like, just be authentic, and you're gonna be all right, bro. It's our time. It's our time, man.
Yeah. Shit, once again, joining us from East LA, Boyle Heights to be exact, Viva Mescal. Viva Mescal. Let me say that, you know, with my full accent. Viva Mescal joining us today. Once again, make sure you guys drop a comment. Let us know who you would like for us to have on here next. Make sure you follow Viva Mescal on all social media pages. We're going to have all the links on the description of the video, description of the podcast. Once again, shouts out to La Conecta, shouts out to La Maquina. And I'm JVaz, and you're watching Texas Underground. Let's go.